Hey y'all, today we're making a margarita cake. Okay, so I had to give y'all something to go with your Cinco de Mayo celebration. So, margarita cake, here you go. And don't worry, it's non-alcoholic, but I mean, you can put some tequila in there if you want to. So what you're going to need is 3 teaspoons of lime zest. So just make sure that you wash your limes very, very well, because you don't want, everybody and their mama done touched that lime up in the Walmart, and you don't want to be using it with everybody else's hand funk on it. Y'all know what I'm saying? So just wash your limes real good, and then you're just going to take your little microplane that I certainly do not know how to use. Clearly, if you're watching this video, you can see that. But, I did the best I could, even though my poor limes looked like they had some kind of disease. By the time I got done with them, I know there's a learning curve, and I'm like on the low end, y'all. I'm on the low end of the microplane learning curve. So I ended up using 2 limes. Maybe 1, if I'd have done it right, would have been enough. But anyway, you need about 3 teaspoons of lime zest. Now look at that. Poor little lime looks like it's got some kind of disease. Anyway, all right. So then you're going to roll your lime on the counter. This kind of helps get the juices to flowing. And then you're just going to cut that, and you're going to squeeze out 2 tablespoons of lime juice. And I got to get me a juicer. I keep saying I'm going to get one, and I actually think I might have one in my garage. I'm going to go check. But yeah, that's next on the list. Okay, now you're going to need some margarita mix, okay? Now, the recipe called for the frozen margarita mix, like the 1 can, you know what I'm talking about? That's in like the juice section. And it's 10 ounces. But I couldn't find that. My stores didn't have it, so I just bought a big bottle of the margarita mix. I figure it's probably the same thing. And I'm just measuring out the 10 ounces, okay? So do it however you want. If you can find the frozen stuff, then you need to just let it thaw out completely before you use it, or get you a bowl and measure you out some of the regular margarita mix. Okay? Then set that aside. Now we're going to get our cake mixed up. You need 1 box of lemon cake mix. Okay? This is a really simple recipe, y'all. Go ahead too and get your oven preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then you're going to add in 1 box, the 3.4 ounce, that's the smaller box, of instant lemon pudding mix. I know this sounds like a lot of lemon and lime, but y'all, let me tell you, this is delicious. So add your lime juice in there, and then add your lime zest in there. Okay, make sure you get it all out of there. We worked hard to zest them limes, so make sure you get it all out of there. Then you're going to add in your margarita mix. And then we're going to add in 4 eggs, okay? Y'all, like I said, this is a super, super simple recipe. Now, if you decide to add a little something of tequila, I guess just take out a little bit of the margarita mix and add equal part, whatever you take out, add that in tequila. I don't know. I've never done it with tequila in it, so, you're on your own with that one. So then you're going to add 1 stick of softened butter. That's a 1/2 cup. And you don't need a stand mixer. You can use a regular hand mixer if you want to. When it's something that's easy in the stand mixer, I usually pull out the stand mixer these days. So you're just going to let that mix up for about, 3 or 4 minutes, just until everything is completely combined, and it's going to get like super fluffy, because we added that butter in there, so you'll see little flecks of butter. So just try to get it mixed up until everything is completely mixed in good, and you don't have like hunks of butter and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Scrape your bowl down when you need to. Make sure you scrape the bottom of the bowl also, because sometimes that powder will get down there, because usually like my paddle doesn't reach all the way quite to the bottom of my bowl. So sometimes I find that I have a little bit of powder down in the very bottom. So just, watch that. So then you're going to take a bundt pan, or at least that's what I'm using. You can use, what is the other thing called? Just a regular flute pan. But you're going to spray it very, very well. With any kind of a bundt cake, you want to make sure you get everything sprayed good, because you want your cake to all pop out in one piece. Now, this batter is thick, okay? It's like real, real fluffy. So it's not going to just pour, real easy into your bowl. You're going to have to kind of ease it in there, or kind of scoop it in there, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Just be careful when you're pouring it in there so you don't pour it all out and it just come out in one big blob. So then I just kind of went around the top of the cake and I tried to even it out as best I could. And then I just kind of bump it on the counter and I'll pick it up and jiggle it a little bit and stuff just to kind of make sure that it settles, down into my pan, especially because this batter is so thick and fluffy. So you're going to bake this 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 45 to 50 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean, okay? Then you're going to just put it on a cooling rack and just let it cool completely down, okay? Because we're going to glaze it, and if you put the glaze on it while it's hot, the glaze is just going to disappear. So once your cake is completely cooled, put a plate over the top of your pan and then just carefully flip it over. And if you did it right, your cake should come out in one solid piece. It's always a little bit of little nerve-wracking at first, but there it is. There she is. She's beautiful. She's a beautiful cake, y'all. So now we're going to mix our glaze up, okay? So what you're going to need for your glaze is 1.5 cups of powdered sugar and then 3 tablespoons of lime juice, okay? So you're just going to, I ended up using like 3.5 limes, I think, total, and that was for the zest, and then what I used in the cake and what I'm using for the glaze, I think it took me about 3.5. So buy 4 limes just to make sure you have enough, okay? And then I kind of sifted my powdered sugar because my powdered sugar, the last few times I've used it, is a bit clumpy. And sometimes I'll get bags that are real great and wonderful and fine, and sometimes they're super clumpy. So I just sifted it. Since we're not using a mixer, I didn't want big clumps. Then you're going to add in your lime juice, and I've got the tiniest whisk because I thought, this will be easier with this little whisk. Yeah, I'll get a bigger whisk out, maybe a bigger bowl too, so you can work a little better. But do as I say, not as I do. You can't just do everything just all willy-nilly like I do it. So anyway, you're just going to keep mixing this, and it's going to feel like it's not mixing and it's going to be super dry, but as you mix it, it's going to thin out, okay? It's some kind of weird something that powdered sugar does. It just liquefies. But add a little bit more lime juice, squeeze a little more lime juice in there if you feel like it's too thick, and just get it as thin as you want it. It's not going to matter how thick or thin it is. It's just your preference, okay? And then I started out trying to be fancy because y'all know I made those little mushrooms the other day and they were kind of fancy. So I thought I was going to make a fancy cake. Negative. This right here is why I tell y'all I'm not crafty. Okay, this is what stuff usually looks like. So just keep going until you use all your little glaze up, and that's it, y'all. Margarita cake. And let me tell you, if you like lemon and lime and the taste of a margarita, without the alcohol, of course, this cake is so good. All right, that is all I've got for y'all today, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.